This video is how I sculpted a flamingo out of a real pretty cedar log I had. Violated all the carving rules, as I'll show you in a second. Here's my base picture. It's actually not the base picture, it's one that I can find real quick. But, anyway, so that's what I'm starting with. I used my bandsaw to cut some slabs out of about a 10-inch log I had, cedar. It's a real pretty piece of cedar, real figured. And so I could use a chainsaw, I guess. It's pretty soft wood. I could have done it, but I had my bandsaw right there, and I just used it trying to salvage as much of this log as I could. For the middle slabs, I drew out a basic shape of a flamingo. Now you can see the trouble right away as I'm going against the grain twice. You can see I go across grain. That's not going to be good. And especially in a soft wood like this, that's for trouble. I actually was going to name this one my superglue flamingo because it's going to take a lot of superglue. Sometimes on these I just go ahead and twist them and break them, if that shows you weak spots, and then I superglue the weak spots and just to tie them up. In this case, I thought I didn't have to worry about that. I thought I would just, wherever it breaks, and then I'll know that's a weak spot as I rough it out. And sure enough, right off the bat, I broke it in two different places. I think I broke it one place and on the bandsaw, and then the head fell off and broke again. But anyway, two breaks so far of that cross grain. And this is after I get away from my favorite grinder, just roughing out the shapes. So all I do is just rounded it all basically. One side of it, the other side looks the same, hopefully. Like I say, it's just real rough, and you can't see really where I passed it with the super glue at this point, but making sure break again. So, got me a basic shape here. Now I have to get down to my Fordham tool with a little grinder burr on it, and it'll let me hopefully round it off without putting too much stress on this fragile neck and breaking any other pieces off of it. Here's what I ended up with after I just finished grinding on it some more and polishing it a little bit, just sanding it very minimal again, trying not to break it again. I sprayed with some polyurethane to see what colors would come out. Really happy with the colors on it, and I figured this would be a pretty piece because it's a real pretty piece of wood. So there it shows the colors on. Boy, that's ingrained, all of it. You can see that. So it soaks up this polyurethane like a sponge. I have to spray it, I don't know, 10 times over the next few hours to get it stop soaking up and finally give me an even coat on it. I mounted it on some brass legs, made a base out of another piece of cedar, just made it blue. Blue shift actually indicate water. And I put a lot of polyurethane on it. Still sprayed it on there. I put two eyes on it, and so you can see how fragile it is. That cross grain is waiting to break. I don't know what about to do about that. I can either drill some holes in through it, through the middle of those two places, and put some kind of a pin. I like to use a brad nailer, a big long 2-inch brad nailer, brads, but I don't know. I'm going to look at it for a while and see what I think about it. The next, it's just asking it to be broke. Anyway, this is just a quick and dirty super glue flamingo out of a piece of cedar. Thank you. Subscribe or like or whatever if you want to keep up with. I'll try to produce these things regularly, but thank you. Bye.